Hey everybody, this is Chris, and I'm going to be doing a review of the two most popular brands of Zippo butane lighter inserts. There's both of the Thunderbird inserts, which are made by Vector, and both of the Zpipe and Z Plus inserts, and those are made by China. Big surprise there. So these are the two most common brands. I think there is another one or two out there I've seen on some websites, but these are the ones that people kind of hem and haw over, trying to decide between them. So basically what I have are both of the torches by these companies, and the Z Plus 2.0 is a twin torch. This is the original Thunderbird. I think they make one that has two torches, but this is just the original single torch one. I wanted to try that for a little comparison. And then the two pipe lighters. The Zpipe is a electro quartz ignition with a 90-degree angle flame, and the Thunderbird is a 45-degree angle flame with a flint wheel. So those are the two common ignition types. So the only one that runs a flint is this Thunderbird pipe lighter insert. We're going to see how they all compare and see, basically, I'm sure a lot of people have questions as to which ones fit. I read on some reviews on some certain websites that there were some fitment problems with certain ones. I can't remember which was which at this point, but the Thunderbirds supposedly have a slightly smaller reservoir for the butane, and the Zpipe and Z Plus have those a pretty large reservoir, and it's clear, so you can see the fluid level, though you will have to pull it out of the Zippo to see that. So I'm going to show you some different aspects of these here, and then you can decide for yourselves which one to go for. I think I paid 12 or 13 bucks a pop for these. Got them all from one company. Was a seller on Amazon that just happened to have all four in stock. So here we go. We're going to check them out. Okay, first up is the Thunderbird 45-degree angle soft flame insert, and it's pretty simple. It just has this little cover, like where a normal Zippo flame would come out the top, or the soft flame version that is not for pipes, that just has no angle. So this little tab right here fits in there. I think it's removable, but I'm not going to mess with it at this point. So it's just a standard flint wheel, as you can see, and it's these little cams right here are what open the butane. So if I open this, you can see it fires right up there. So it seems to go into these Zippo cases pretty smoothly. This one seats all the way down. I saw another review online where the gentleman couldn't seem to get it to square in there properly. I don't know if this is just a different case or what, but this seems to work, quite well. Just slides right in there, nice and snug. So when you load this, you want to pop the cam this way, and that's what makes it able to close. So it seems like it lights right up. It's a 90-degree angle on the jet inside there, and seems like it does all right. The flint wheel is a tried and true, Zippo style flint wheel. It just seems to work. They've been working that way for decades. No issues there. I know on my DuPont lighter and my Caribe pipe lighter, those are both flint styles, and those are a lot more expensive, almost like jewelry, luxury items. And these seem to work just as good, if not better in certain regards. They catch every time, and it's a nice strong, I think it's the size of the wheel makes a difference, but it really just seems to give a nice decent sized spark, and works like a charm. So alright, on to the next here. Oh, one other thing I should mention about this guy. The two Thunderbird inserts came pre-filled with butane, and I could tell just by the smell of it that it wasn't, it smelled like the cheaper butanes to me. Didn't smell like, had a kind of a foul smell to it. So I seem to notice that on the cheaper butanes. And I don't know if they're allowed to ship these pre-filled, so no clue if the seller on Amazon cares about that or not, but you might be violating some sort of a law there, but I don't care. I'm going to bleed it out and put some better quality butane in there anyway, so, but yeah. Okay, so the Zpipe did not come filled with butane, so I'm going to fill it up now. Found myself an old can of Calibri here. I probably had a dozen cans of this at one point. Used to work at a smoke shop about 10 to 15 years ago, so I still have like 2 of these left. It's the old school kind of Calibri 3-ounce butane canister, so I have some other styles too, but these seem to work alright, so as old as they are. We're going to give this a little fill here. Nope, that didn't seem to take. Okay, it looks like it needs to be bled first. Okay, I put it in the freezer for a couple of minutes and it filled right up. So that's all it needed. Just a little, just open the valve a little bit to bleed the, if there was anything in there from factory or whatever. So, but it's still a little bit cold. I'm not sure if it's going to affect it lighting or not, but there it goes. So it took a couple of clicks there. The quartz mechanisms sometimes do that, and again, that could be because it's cold or there's a little bit of moisture condensated in the jet there somewhere. But you know, this one has a similar kind of feel to it. Might even be a little lighter weight. So let's see how it fits into the case here. Right in, square. No fit problems whatsoever, right up to the line. So remember to open the cam, because there's that little lip inside there that grabs the cam. I don't know if you can see it, but there. And we're going to, bam, first try. Look at that. A little bit smaller flame than the other one, but works like a champ. And that is a 90-degree angle on that, unlike the 45-degree on the Vector. Beautiful. Oh, maybe that's the problem right there. I don't know if you can see, but it doesn't seem to close perfectly square. But it fits in there nicely. Eh. That's all it is. Yeah. Seems to be alright, but then, you know, when you go to close it, there's still a tiny little, like a 0.5 millimeter gap there for some reason, but oh well. Next up is the Thunderbird single torch, and this one again also came pre-filled with butane, and it doesn't seem to be like it's a quality butane because of the little kind of sour smell you get to it. The more refined stuff, I think, has just like almost no odor to it, or very, very faint. So again, I'm going to open the cam here. Ooh, that needs turned down just a little bit. So, and it's set, it looks like it's set about halfway. You see that little dial there. But I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. Let's see if that makes it better. Yeah, that's the size I'm talking about. And I love a torch. I smoke cigars, pipes, even a cigarette once in a while. I also grow my own tobacco, roll my own cigars. I'm in the middle of figuring out how to press tobacco for pipes. I also have a little kiln to try and flue cure the stuff that I grow myself, and it helps for kind of synthetically aging the cigar tobaccos. So I'm kind of a tobacco know-it-all, you know, do-it-yourselfer. So a lot of people, you know, I have an ST DuPont Line 2 lighter that I bought about 10 years ago. Those are hundreds of dollars. You know, that's a once-in-a-lifetime investment. I think, you know, unless you're a serious lighter collector, that money's better spent on tobacco itself. So, but there are some people that are die-hard with soft flame stuff, or, you know, I think the whole lighting a piece of cedar wood or something along those lines, you know, I think that's a load of BS. That never seemed to, I mean, burning any wood is going to impart some sort of a flavor to the smoke. butane is a clean fuel. It's the most neutral. So I have to have a torch. If I get an uneven burn, even if it's a cigar I only paid $3 or $4 for, you know, I like to touch it up so it burns evenly. So for me, a small single flame torch is a must. So this one's eventually going to live in the car with me. You know, cars are a great place to have a torch just for stuff like that. Cuts down on the wind, or I'm sorry, it makes it easier to light them in the wind. So you can see this one seems to fit in there pretty snug as well. This is a little bit older Zippo case. Got that from, I don't know, one of the RTDA trade shows back when it was called RTDA. Now it's IPCPR. Open the cam, closes perfectly snug. Look at that. Digging it. So it seems like the vectors fit in there pretty smooth. And this one, I don't think the cam is opening the butane. I think it's just like a normal torch lighter. When you press down the trigger is what opens it. So it seems like it's dying a little bit there, but that's fine because that junk butane in there needs to come out anyway. So, well, this thing's pretty impressive. Simple. Okay, last up is the Z Plus Extreme. This is the one with the twin torch. You can see the two little jet nozzles in there. So I just pulled this one out of the fridge here. We're going to give this a little shot of butane. See how well it fills up. There it goes. Close to full. Alright. Let's give it a shot here. Bam, right down in square like the other one. Open the cam. I don't hear any butane coming out. So again, so with the torches, I don't think the cam opens the butane. That's just the ones with the soft flames. So here goes. Look at that. Double, they kind of cross pattern a little bit like some of the old Calibris. I'm sure some of the newer ones do that too. When I was working in the biz, Calibri was like the only name if you weren't going to spend hundreds of dollars. So let's see, it kind of lingers a little bit. It could be because it's cold. That flame should cut right off as soon as I release the trigger, so it kind of putters a little bit, but not bad. Oh, there's a little close problem there. So the other case seemed to close a little funky with the other, the Zpipe insert. And this one does not seem to want to close completely with this one. Let me try this other silver case I have here. See if that's any better. Nope, same thing. Okay, Z Plus, made by Integral is the company actually that makes it, in China, of course. Sunrise, Florida. So, Integral, you can see right here, these guys. You need some, this needs to go back to the drawing board here a little bit. Not cool. That's almost unusable like that, in my opinion, because that could, I don't know. Maybe it seems worse than it actually is, but okay, it's cutting off a little better. That was probably just because it was cold. Like I said, I had just taken it out of the fridge before I filled it there. That helps it fill a little better, cool down the butane chamber, and it, you know, since the canister is room temp and that's way below room temp, it pulls the butane in a little better. So that's why I do that. But so this needs a little tweaking here from the engineers. So again, for $12-13 I paid for each of these. You know, I'm sure they're all, it doesn't say where the vectors are made. I'm assuming China as well, but, you know, anything, I think everything's made in China these days. So, well, there you have it. That's all four of them. Drop some questions on me. I'm going to do a follow-up review after a few months of use here. You know, if one of them shits the bed or something, I'll do the review, you know, at that point, follow-up, you know. If they all are still kicking after 3 or 4 months, I'll do the follow-up review then, and we'll be able to, you know, see if one of them lasts longer than the others or anything like that. So again, hit me up. Stick around for a minute. I'll give you a little tour of my my tobacco lifestyle here. It really has become, in the last 5 or 6 years, quite an obsession. So, or hobby. We'll say hobby. Not a habit. It's a hobby. Okay. Here is my little world of tobacco. A little growing bourbon collection there. My briars. You can see I have a thing for corn cobs. They're cheap and they smoke great. So that explains that. And over here I got my little cigar rolling table. You can see I've got my my Lieberman machine here, or a bunching machine, just like they use in the real factories. It's pretty sweet. Little cutting board here. That's a leaf deveiner. Let's see, a little soft on the focus here. That's for deveining tobacco. And some cigarette tobacco there, and some tubes. There's a mold under there. Yep, all kind of good stuff. Got my tuck cutter back there for trimming some scraps. Here is just part of my pipe tobacco collection. You can see McClellan is pretty dominant here, but there's all kind of stuff. Some GLP's Old London series. I got all 10 of those back there. Just all kind of good stuff in here. All sorts of Sam Gaywith and Gaywith Hogarth. There's some McBaron's HH under there. All kind of good stuff. My little smoking chair here. You can see got a couple different little ashtrays here. That is, yes, that is tobacco. Just a little dwarf. I think that's a, let's see, what is that? A Criollo plant from Criollo 98 seed. There's some loose stuff. And here is my Humidor, which, as you can see, is actually just what used to be the closet of this room. Kill the light here, makes it a little easier to see. Some Tatuaje, Curivari. Some of this is leaf I grew. Some in the bags there is stuff I get from either leaf only or wholeleaftobacco.com. And some more pipe tobacco up there. Some Drew Estate stuff, and I am not a Drew Estate fanboy. I mean, I like the Liga Privadas and the Dirty Rats and the T52s and all that stuff, but they're just way too expensive. I smoke too much to be able to afford cigars at that price, but I have lots that I like just as much. There's some stuff, some more leaf I use for rolling. I've got all kind of stuff in here. Some of my father's. What's that back there? Some straight jackets. Love the La Aroma de Cuba. That's probably my overall favorite brand, that and Tatuaje. Anything Don Pepin or Pete Johnson is just killer. So that humidor, inside my humidor, is where I just keep all the little ones and twos, like extra stuff. Like if I had a box, like I'll throw the last couple when I finish a box in there to age. There's just a bunch of, Olivas. Got some Series V there. The Sobremesa from Steve Sacca. Now that is an awesome cigar. I think that goes head to head with any of the Liga stuff. For about the same money. But Quesada. What else we got in there? More Tatuajes, more Asylums. Some Alec Bradley stuff. I love Alec Bradley stuff. It seems like it may have slipped a little in the last year or two. Just some new blends coming out that weren't great. The Coyal is alright. That Mundial is pretty good. Some Sammy Lucias. What else is in here? All kind of stuff. There's some more What's down there? And that's another box of those 5x50 Asylums. My Nat Shermans, all kind of good stuff. So that's the Humidor tour. And then here's a little glimpse into the backyard. That is tobacco there. Those are Vuelta Abajo and some Criollo 98 plants. Here is Pennsylvania broadleaf, and there's another bright leaf strain behind it. Over here is Sumatras. Those are like 6 feet tall. And then way off in the side there, you see I got a bud bag on to keep bees from pollinating, cross-pollinating the seed. But that last strain over there is an oriental strain called Xanthe, which if you're a pipe smoker, I'm sure you're familiar with. Cigar smokers, not so much. There's some other little oriental strains in the back there called Celican, or however they pronounce that, Celican, something along those lines. And let's go outside. Okay. So here is the humongous Pennsylvania broadleaf. Now that plant's about 6 feet tall, this one in the corner here. And I've topped it so it doesn't go to seed. That helps the leaves grow slightly fuller, a little bit larger. But it's in a raised bed, so subtract about 10 inches, but I'm 6'4" and that thing's taller than me. So that's a 6-foot plant for sure. Here's a 5-footer. This is the Vuelta Abajo. I've let gone to seed. Now this one's not in the bud bag because I have 4 of these that I'm letting flower and seed. 1, 2, and there's 2 more out front. Those are the only ones that are exposed, so I don't care if the bees cross-pollinate those. And here's Criollo. You can see these leaves are, monstrous. I have massive hands, and that leaf is just way bigger. And then you can see the Pennsylvania broadleaf down here. The size of that leaf. I mean, that's massive. Now that's kind of low on the low stock position, but it's still pretty thick. It's a nice leaf there. Come over here and check out the Sumatra. Similar. It's modeling a little bit. Let me pull the focus out a little here. Some beautiful tobacco there. And here is the Xanthe. I don't have the best lens for this. Filming this on my full-frame DSLR. It's a Nikon D600 with just a cheapo 50mm lens. So can't get the best focus here, but I'd love to get some expensive lenses for this thing to make video a little easier, but my apologies if the focus is a little soft. And that's the Xanthe. Chris's little world of tobacco here. Not bad, not bad.